Hi everyone, welcome to Automatic Reviews. I'm your automatic reviewer, Mark. Before we get started, I just want to remind you of all that YouTube stuff. Like, comment, subscribe. If you could do that, that would be great. Also, if you could follow me on Instagram at Automatic Reviews, that would also be super awesome. I try to post at least once a day, watch pictures, cool watch-related content. So I encourage you to go and, follow me there. Give me the old follow. Hit the old follow button. That would be wonderful. Now, let's talk about watch winders a little bit before I start on the review of this very interesting watch winder, the Wolf Roadster. Ooh, watch winders, controversy. If you look at the internet, you will see lots of opinions. Some people love them, some people hate them. The people who love them will say that they're very practical and they can help them, keep some of their watches wound. The people that hate them will say they damage your watches and they prematurely age your watches or require your watches to have servicing more frequently. I think both can be true. I think it depends on how you use them. To me, a watch winder is at its best when it's being used to maintain watches which are in rotation currently. So that way you're not, oh, this watch has died. I was going to wear it today. I was just about to wear it. That kind of an effect. Watch winder keeps it going, keeps you from having to manually wind it, reset the time, reset the date. And I think that for watches that are not really designed to be wound all the time, I think that actually can prolong their lifespan of the winding mechanism, because I think some watches have a pretty delicate winding mechanism when they're automatics. And I also think it's just practical. I keep a couple automatics in rotation, and the watches are generally speaking ready for me because I keep them wound. So I do appreciate that. The criticism that a watch winder can be damaging to watches can also be true on some levels, in the sense that if you have an entire wall of watches that you never wear but are constantly being wound 24 hours a day on watch winders, yeah, you're essentially using every single watch you own every single day. I think, occasionally having them run on these winders would be a smart decision because, it keeps the watch lubricated, it keeps it in working order. But being wound every day, all day, yeah, okay, I can understand that criticism, but I don't think that's how watch winders are really intended to be used, and that's not how I use them. And that's not how I recommend you use them. But do I recommend you use them? Absolutely. I do think a watch winder can be a super useful thing. I think it's, if you find yourself wondering whether or not you need one, you probably would enjoy one. That's how I see it. If it never occurs to you, then it's probably not a product that you would use. The winder that I'm going to be talking about today is the Wolf Roadster, and it is a pretty interesting unit. So let's find out what I have to say about it. Right off the top, let's do the old wrist check, as people like to call it. What am I wearing? Today I have on the Christopher Ward C65, which I did an unboxing of recently, and I have it on this ABP alligator strap, the combination is amazing. I love this watch and this strap. I'm really enjoying that. Just a quick overview here of the specs. It is 6.75 inches tall, 5.5 inches wide, and front to back it's 8.75 inches. The list weight is 5.5 pounds, but it weighs a little bit less than that, I think around 4 pounds. It takes 2D batteries, which you can see fit in this compartment back here. I've been using it for about 4 months, and this is the same set of batteries I've been using the whole time. So the batteries do last quite some time, and it also is capable of running on AC adapter, but I don't use that because I keep this in a cubby, and I don't want to run a wire in there, and the batteries do work just fine. As you can see, the battery compartment is quite premium, chrome-plated plastic around the edges, but it does look quite nice. Like most of the watch winder, it's a very nice unit. It also has a 2-year warranty, and I haven't heard any complaints from people about warranty issues, except that outside the warranty period, there is an issue with the unit is apparently not repairable. So I feel like that's pretty wasteful. Apparently what happens is Wolf will offer you a discount on a new unit if your unit is broken outside the 2-year period. I can't confirm or deny this from my personal experience, but I've seen that on quite a bit of forums and in some reviews. To me, that's a bit disappointing. I think something that's made ostensibly this well should be repairable, and I think it's pretty wasteful to start from scratch. So that's unfortunate. It has a little push button on top that lets you open it up. The door has a plexiglass window of some kind. I've heard some criticisms about the fact that they use plastic as opposed to glass, but in my view, it probably just adds to the durability, and other than the knowledge that it's not glass, it doesn't detract at all from the function or appearance of the unit. So I think that it might have been a wise choice on their part. Inside here, you can see they have this Macassar ebony veneer that's been applied, which I think is quite nice, and it's been lacquered, and it looks quite nice. You have this pad with a little pleather with an embossed wolf logo, and you have the controls. Everything's been chromed, and you can see the lining is this quite nice, this nice woven fabric, which all the little details are very well done, and the unit is very well crafted. Everything's sort of just so. And the door opens very smoothly, very nicely. I've been using it for about 4 months, and that hasn't changed. I use it just about every day. And even from the angles, the lines, this is a handsome piece of equipment. Even the battery door is nice on it, but everything, even the jack for the AC adapter, it just has a look of sort of premium look. It's just good quality. And I think that, the looks might be a little divisive. I think for some people this might come across as just sort of classy, handsome. It's a statement piece. But I think for other people, they might find it a little gaudy, a little overstated. I can see both angles, actually, but I tend to favor the perspective that this is nice looking, and I like wood. I like this veneer. I think it's well done. It's high quality. I can't fault it for that. And I did select this unit. There were more understated ones, and I didn't buy those. So I'm I guess a sucker for the style, but I could see some people not liking that about it. It does have a little lock that it comes with a key that enables you to lock it. It's a really tiny lock. I'm not really sure what these locks are for. If a burglar was to take your watch winder, they wouldn't just become stumped and go, oh, well, look, I can never pick this in the time that I have. I better get out of here. They would just take the whole watch winder with the watch inside. And then if it's to prevent a child from getting into it, a child who would mess with your watch winder would probably just smash the whole thing on the ground. I'm not really sure what the key is for. I never use it. I just, it's just a little button. The lock is kind of inconsequential to me. Let's talk a little bit about function. You open up the watch winder where you're pressing the button on the top. The door opens. You have this cushion that sort of clicks in and out. It has these plastic tabs that retain it inside the machine. And I'll use this Christopher Ward C7 Rapide as my example watch. I often use this on the watch winder. It houses a Valjoux 7750 movement. And the nice thing about this watch winder is it has settings, and I'll show you. When you do pop it on the cushion, what will almost always invariably happen is that the back part of the cushion will get hung up on this plastic tab. And if you try to put it in, at first I was like, oh, it won't click in. But in reality, you just push it out of the way before you pop it in the machine. Then it'll click in. And yes, what's nice about this machine is you have settings as far as the winding direction is concerned. You can choose to have it wind in both directions, have it winding clockwise, or have it winding counterclockwise, depending on the needs of the watch. And you can look up online. There are charts where they show you the winding direction and the turns per day required for basically every movement out there. It has an on button and also a delay button. When you turn it on, you can control the amount of rotations per day, and it will limit how many times this actually does go around. It won't just keep going around and around and around all day, wearing out your sort of winding mechanisms and all that. What it will do is it will stop after the set number of rotations. You can choose as low as 300 rotations per day or as much as 1200. And then it also has a function down here, which is a delay. So you can delay how long you want, how much time will elapse before the winder starts turning. So you can adjust it to your needs. It functions well. The only frustration I have with this unit as far as winding watches, because it winds them very well, is that it has developed, and if I'm quiet for a moment, maybe you can hear. There's about a 10-second delay when you just turn it on, and it's not in delay mode. Now, let's listen closely and see if we can hear. Probably difficult to capture this with a microphone, but it has developed a bit of a noise, a bit of a motor noise. And this just seems to be a universal problem with every watch winder out there. Every review, long-term review especially, that you find on the internet will say, it kind of developed a bit of noise over time. And I've been running this watch just about every day for about 4 months, and it has steadily gotten louder. that seems like it could be an issue in the long term if it continues. I do keep this unit inside of a cubby, so it might be the case that the noise would never get loud enough that it would bother me. But the fact that it's gotten so much louder, it was basically dead silent when I got it, and over the course of about 4 months, it's gotten considerably louder. I can't see it just leveling off. I think it's going to continue to get louder, and that's a bit of a point of a concern. All right, conclusions. Do I recommend this unit? Well, there are some downsides. It is pretty expensive, and it already has developed some sort of motor noise. So that makes me a little bit nervous to say I wholeheartedly recommend this product. That being said, it does have a 2-year warranty, and one that I suspect I might end up using. And it does look good, and it does function well. It does the job that it's supposed to, and on that basis, I would say that to me, it's worth it. So I can recommend it to you to that degree at least. And I would say that a winder in general, as a broader kind of statement on winders, I think having a watch winder is very useful for somebody who owns automatic watches. And no matter what happens with this winder in the future, I will be replacing it. If it was to stop working, I would buy another winder for sure. Would it be Wolf? I guess that depends on how this winder works out long term. But either way, I will definitely have a winder that I use, because now that I have one, I wouldn't want to go without one. All right, guys, so this has been Automatic Reviews. Again, I am Mark, your automatic reviewer. Thanks for having joined me and spent, however long this ends up being. My videos always run long. I talk. But that being said, if you've had patience and you've stayed and you've listened to all the talking, you're you're one of my people. And I appreciate that. And I hope to see you again in the green place that I hang out in, apparently. So, till next time, thanks. Bye.